not saying I was different than that. I'm just saying the things we do to one another. Hell, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just tired and confused right now. That's why I say I can't really, I can't say it the way I want to say it. I could say
At Mike Webster's funeral, thousands of Steelers fans said goodbye to Iron Mike. The world heard one story, heart attack at 50. But what doctors revealed when they opened his brain told something different. Mike Webster would have turned 70 in March 2022. That day should have celebrated a legend. Instead, it marks decades stolen by disease. If this hits you, tap hype and give this video hype because his legacy deserves to be heard. Everything started on a 640-acre potato farm in Wisconsin. Michael Lewis Webster was born March 18th, 1952, the second of 6 children. His childhood was truly harsh. At age 10, his parents divorced. A year later, a house fire nearly killed him. He barely escaped that burning home. These experiences taught young Webster to endure pain as normal. He learned to accept suffering without complaint. He learned to be tough, and the NFL would later exploit that ruthlessly. Webster did not join organized football until his junior year of high school. His own father thought sports distracted from farm work. His coach had to drive him to practices. That struggle to participate created a fear that never left him, fear of being replaced. That fear drove him to play through career-ending injuries. He became obsessive. He added 30 pounds of muscle through relentless training with no offseason. 4 hours a day, he worked a blocking sled in his own yard. His family said he never stopped. His body became a weapon, but nobody told him his brain could not handle the price. From 1974 to 1988, Webster was the centerpiece of the Pittsburgh Steelers dynasty. 4-time Super Bowl champion, 220 games played for Pittsburgh, 150 consecutive starts earned him Iron Mike. That durability streak was celebrated by coaches and media. It was marketed as pure toughness. Every single game involved violent head collision. On every snap, the center collides with a defensive lineman 50 to 100 pounds heavier. Medical experts calculated Webster absorbed the equivalent of 25,000 automobile crashes over his career. Many were subconcussive blows that never caused unconsciousness, but they still caused damage. Each impact released tau proteins in his brain. The physical toll appeared even during his playing years. In 1986, a dislocated elbow ended his consecutive start streak and triggered what reports called out-of-control paranoia. He played the final games of 1980 with torn knee cartilage, including a meaningless Pro Bowl game. He did this because his entire identity was wrapped up in his ability to suffer without complaint. Coach Chuck Noll called him the best center in the history of the game. The Steelers organization celebrated his sacrifice. Nobody warned him he was being sacrificed. When Webster retired in March 1991, the descent began. Millions of dollars he earned were lost quickly as his executive function failed. The frontal lobes of his brain were shutting down. His wife Pamela noticed he could no longer handle finances, pay bills, or open mail. Webster became transient. He lived in the back of a pickup truck, in storage units, in train stations. Teammates offered apartments and help. His pride and paranoia kept him refusing. He lived nowhere. The desperation he experienced created behaviors that sound impossible until you read the medical records and witness statements. Webster suffered from unbearable insomnia that lasted for days and constant bone and muscle pain that never subsided. He bought a taser gun and shocked himself until losing consciousness. He would electrocute himself repeatedly just to induce sleep and escape the mental anguish. His teeth rotted and fell out from neglect and biological stress. He used superglue to fix them back in his gums as a temporary solution. When varicose veins burst, he sealed them shut with the same adhesive to prevent bleeding. His forehead appeared glued to his skull from scar tissue buildup from thousands of helmet impacts. He exhibited bizarre behaviors like urinating in ovens and threatening strangers he did not recognize. His brain was literally dissolving from the accumulation of damage. By 1999, Webster forged Ritalin prescriptions, believing this stimulant could jumpstart his dying mind and restore function. He knew something was catastrophically wrong. He just did not know what it was. His teenage son Garrett eventually moved to Pittsburgh as his primary caregiver. Garrett watched his father, the Steelers' dynasty anchor, reduced to a man who could not find his way home. In 1999, doctors diagnosed Webster with permanent brain damage and frontal lobe dysfunction. The NFL Retirement Board ruled him totally and permanently disabled in October 1999. But they classified his disability as beginning in 1996, not 1991 when he retired. This cost Webster millions in retroactive benefits. The NFL relied on ERISA, which gave administrators broad power to deny claims. An NFLPA representative told Webster to get a job and sent him bus fare. The league played games while he suffered. Webster died September 24, 1992, in the coronary care unit of Allegheny General Hospital in Pittsburgh. The official cause was heart attack, but medical professionals focused on his early onset dementia and cognitive decline. His autopsy was assigned to Nigerian-born forensic pathologist Dr. Bennett Omalu. Omalu was not trapped in the mythology of the Pittsburgh Steelers the way American doctors were. Webster was only 50 years old, but he looks like a man in his 70s or older. His body was aged far beyond reason. When Omalu opened the skull, the brain looked normal to the naked eye. This strange discrepancy troubled him deeply. He requested to preserve the brain for microscopic study, paying out of his own pocket. He would find the truth about what killed Mike Webster. Under the microscope, he discovered a biological catastrophe never before documented in a football player: diffuse amyloid plaques. A grotesque pattern of tau protein clumped into tangles that choked the communication network of his mind. Omalu named this disease chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. He had discovered the first hard evidence that playing football caused permanent, progressive brain damage, even after retirement. Omalu expected the NFL to embrace him as a hero. He thought the league would want to prevent this disease in future players. Instead, the league attacked him viciously. The NFL, under Commissioner Paul Tagliabue and the Mild Traumatic Brain Injury Committee, launched a coordinated campaign to destroy his credibility and silence him. The MTBI committee was filled with league-affiliated doctors, including Dr. Elliot Pellman, who had no background in neurology. When Omalu published his landmark paper in July 2005, the league demanded a retraction. Pellman and others called his work completely wrong and a serious misinterpretation. The NFL excluded him from scientific summits. Doctors insinuated he practiced voodoo medicine. One physician told Omalu, "Your work suggests football is dangerous. If mothers believe this, it is the end of football." The league chose football over truth. It took until 2009, 7 years after Webster's death, before the NFL publicly acknowledged the concussion link to CTE. The modern legacy is bitter. Webster's family was excluded from the 2013 settlement by a 2006 cutoff date. His widow Pam struggled to afford a home. His son Garrett delivered pizzas while advocating for brain research. Webster's story triggered diagnoses in other players. Aaron Hernandez took his own life. Junior Seau committed suicide. Andre Waters shot himself. Terry Long also took his own life after CTE destroyed his mind. Mike Webster's 70th year became a marker of decades lost to disease he never knew he had. His brain was not an anvil. His body was not built to survive 25,000 impacts. Toughness was not immunity. It was a slow death sentence delivered one collision at a time. The truth is that an Iron Man was treated as disposable. The NFL used him, marketed him, and abandoned him. Please like this video and subscribe. Comment what Webster's legacy should really be. Mike Webster changed football forever.